Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Hello, Linda, Lady Prairie, Jeremiah, Ash. Hello, friends. Hello, hello, hello. Guys, I'm excited to do another interview. I like doing the live interviews. They're fun. They're fun. I mean, I like doing the regular interviews too, but it's also fun doing the live interviews. Getting to get to know people. I feel like it's easier to get to know them in a live setting. Okay. How's everybody doing today? How's everyone's day yesterday? Hope it was good. Hello. Hello. Oh. Hey, Clara. Hello. Are you guys there? Is this thing on? Test, test, test. Okay, good. I read a political article about Trump and Iran. Hey, Rosa. Okay, good. Driving. Okay. That's fine. That's all good. Just wanted to make sure. I came on and said hello and then got nothing. And I was confused. What Politico article on which one? He's waiting for Jared and Steve. Oh. I don't think he knows what he's doing, if we're being straight here. Hey, Shawnee. I'm like 90% sure. Thanks. If you guys didn't see, there's a hot lips emote over on TikTok now. I saw that, Lady Prairie. What is it doing today? Is it dropping again? Probably, because everyone's worried about the Dow has gone up a little bit, but NASDAQ and S&P are still going down. Hopefully I can get big enough here that I can have my own emotes too. I know you got to get bigger before you can do that kind of stuff. So here's hoping. I love a good market drop for them. Yeah. Am I still looking for always, Jeremiah? Always. Always. If there are candidates that are running for office that are progressive, I want to interview them. I just saw a video talking about how there's a data center in being built in the panhandle of Texas that will use as much electricity as all of the rest of Texas combined. You also have a kids author I think you'll enjoy talking to. Heck yeah. And I was sent another one by Kiva that I've got to find time to reach out to. I just interviewed someone who is a female Nordic combined skier and is trying to get women's Nordic combined on the Olympics. So that one will be coming out on Monday, I think. She's already a rep in Minnesota House, but she's running for U.S. Senate for Minnesota. Ooh, cool. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. Send it to Rosa or Ash, and they will reach out. Good day. Hey, Maureen. Thank you, Jeremiah. I appreciate you, buddy. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to watch the State of the Union tonight. Normally, like, part of me is like, no, hell no. But another part of me is like, considering what, like, this is basically my job, I almost feel like I kind of have to. Like, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't watch it. I'm like, if I'm going to watch it, I might as well stream it. Even though I don't want to in any way, shape, or form. But I have a feeling he's going to be unhinged, and we need to see that. Well, I definitely wouldn't be watching that. I won't be watching the alternative thing that's going on. That feels like TPUSA alternate halftime bullshit. Don't go to it, that's fine. But trying to make something else, meh. I think I'd like it more if it was on another night, but not at the same time. Yeah. I guess. I don't know. Feels a little bit tit for tat. Yeah. You're going to be here. I'll show up for the numbers. I might have to keep a roll of toilet paper nearby so I don't break things when I need to throw something. It's fair. That's fair. That is absolutely fair. Morning, Silver. Sticking a fork in your eye is not your job. Yes. But knowing what happened in a major event where they're talking about the possibility of declaring war basically on Iran during the State of the Union feels like something I need to be there for. What time does it start? Yeah, he said it's going to be a long speech because there's so many good things to talk about. Yeah. If he beats his record, I think we're gonna have to start putting limits. Like, when I tell you this administration is gonna cause more regulation on everything and everyone, I mean it. He canceled his IEEPA tariffs. He signed an executive order to get rid of his IEEPA tariffs. He's just doing it somewhere else. Or how he made billions off our tax dollars. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I saw Amanda's Mild Takes talk about it. There are still other tariffs that have nothing to do with IEEPA. It's only the IEEPA tariffs that had to go away. Any tariff that he did under IEEPA. Not all of them. Yeah. February 20th, President Trump signed an executive order directing the end of all tariffs imposed under the IEEPA, effective the 24th, so today. Yep. Hey, Aaron. I bet it's going to be 3 hours or as long as he can stand. I don't think he can stand for 3 hours. I don't think he can stand for 3 hours. I mean, technically, no one has officially decided that the government needs to pay corporations back yet. That is a possibility, Shawnee, for sure. But oh, see, I might have to do it, and we might need to create a bingo card. What do you think? Should we do a bingo card for this? When was the last time Trump played a round of golf? Anyone remember? It's been months. That's all you need to know about his health. Well, yeah, filing a lawsuit doesn't mean anything, unfortunately. Well, if I do it, I'm definitely doing a bingo card with it. That's for sure. What's up, Steve? Hope you enjoyed missing the snow. Guys, everyone say hello to my brother. Yes, I enjoyed missing the snow. Older brother's in the house. Threatens tariffs, stock market drops, his cronies buy up on the cheap. Then he cancels tariffs, values go up, his cronies make tons of money. Yep. If you plan on watching tonight, at least fact check him. I mean, they're all going to be lies, but yeah, they'll be fact checked. Like, all of them will be lies. I'm not sure he can say one truth, or at least a misrepresentation of the truth. It's going to be one of those. We're stuck inside most of the day. Fun time. Yeah, I saw videos of people shoveling basically their front door, and it was about 3 feet up. It was wild. And that was in Massachusetts. So yeah, I definitely don't miss that much snow. We got our one snow. South Shore is really bad. We only had about a foot by the end, but it was blizzard all day. Couldn't see across the street. Yep. I remember parking at your place and walking to my place when I used to live close by because of how bad the weather was. I remember that. It was wretched. It was one of the worst days of my life. Parking at your place and walking all the way home. I saw a video of a guy getting frustrated and started a brawl with a snowdrift. But he came out of Christopher. You know, sometimes it happens. Hope he short circuits in a sundown moment and starts admitting to stuff he shouldn't be admitting. I mean, that's possible. Sundowners have no filter. He definitely has no filter. Have you seen basically his interviews since the Supreme Court overturned tariffs have been unhinged? Like, he's getting worse. You can tell he's getting worse. Yeah, so C-SPAN wrote a response to that whole thing, because obviously, yes, it does sound like Trump. But Trump was actually in a live event at the time that the call came in, so it was not Donald Trump. Need to make that clear. As much as it sounded like him, it wasn't him. These tariffs were how he was paying people off. I don't know. At this point, I don't know. Drought line is getting closer again. Need the snowpack for the spring. What's up, Kia? So I might be going to a thing with a bunch of people that are running for office in the end of March, which is cool. Not sure what I'm, other than networking and talking about the future kind of a thing with people that are running for office. I'm not sure what else I'm going to do, but it's pretty cool. Mendelsohn is talking about Trump. Great news. Hey, Ambrosia. Sounds fun. It hopefully it should be. It's going to be on the day of the No Kings protests, so or like that, somewhere around that day. I'm not sure exactly what. Still haven't gotten all the details, but candidate panels. Oh yeah, already planning on it. Already planning on candidate panels. Yep. Speaker Jeffries instructed House members to either attend the State of the Union in silent defiance or skip event. I mean, those are their two options. He's saying Trump was leading JE's operation. There you go. Yeah, Mandelson was the UK ambassador to the US. Or the US ambassador to UK ambassador to the US. I think. Hey, Angel. Oh yeah, that whistleblower yesterday, the ICE whistleblower. Woo. Yeah, that one was wild, man. Like that was wild. So for everybody here that still goes on TikTok, when I start up over there, could you make sure to go and like and share and repost, etc. the post that I did? It basically is advertising for when Annabelle comes on at 11. I want to make sure that gets as much spread as possible. Doesn't need to be now. 11 today. Yeah. So basically, we're going to be going for an hour and then she'll come on. Thank you, friends. Appreciate you. Am I still getting 5 new followers total alive? Yeah. Yes, I posted it already. Yep. I think in general, I'm getting 5 followers, new followers alive. I can't guarantee it. I don't remember. I got 15 yesterday, so. So has anyone heard if Scott's gotten his electricity back? Also might be having a candidate come on Thursday too. We'll have to see about that one. I'm talking to them about coming on Thursday. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't. It's still pretty bad. Like today is supposed to be pretty bad there too. So it wouldn't surprise me. Okay. Didn't hear it. I mean, I don't know how much of New Jersey lost any power, Ambrosia. I just know that we just know that Scott lost power. Dre didn't lose power. Yeah. The government, they took out his power, pretended it was because of a snowstorm, so he couldn't talk. That had to be it. That had to be it. I got to go to the dentist today. Not looking forward to that. Nothing I hate more than going to the dentist. Almost nothing I hate more than going to the dentist. I can think of a couple things I'd probably hate more, but not many things. Colonoscopy? No, actually, I think the colonoscopy wasn't as bad. Like obviously that day before was pretty bad, but the actual whole process, the prep. Okay. I mean, having a kidney stone, I'd say is worse. But see, things like kidney stones, I never know it's coming. So the actual process is really bad. But like the dentist is bad because you know it's coming and you don't want to like, and it just like, ugh. What's up, Alex? I love going to the dentist. I have never had a cavity. Well, I wish I could say that were true for me. I wish I could say that were true for me. Only had one cavity. I grew up with bad tooth genetics. They still make you, well, there's a couple different ways you can do it. I still had to drink a huge amount of stuff, but I know there are other ways. There are other ways now that are less bad. I just didn't get to experience those. Yep. Kidney stones are the worst. I'll find a doctor who uses, I think it has to partially has to do with your insurance, Ambrosia, unfortunately. I think my insurance would only cover the wretched part. What's up, meme? How you doing? Typical Republican, except I'm not a Democrat either. So calling me a Democrat is just wrong. I sure sound like one. Oh, well, in that case, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I don't know, Sue. Someone who disagrees with them. That's what I'm going with. If he disagrees with them, they must be a Democrat. That's the only thing I can think of. Hey, Stu. Hey, Cat. No, tariffs are not vital for national security, not in the way Trump's doing them. Targeted tariffs? Sure, they can. Broad, sweeping tariffs? No. Guess what? He's still doing them. No, he's doing different ones. And I've never said that he wasn't the president of the United States. Thank you for the heart me's. Morning, Shell. Literally the worst president ever. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate you. Explain broad tariffs. The ones that he's currently doing where he's putting 10% on the entire planet, that's a broad tariff. National security would be putting a tariff on a good that if, say, we were at war, we would need to be able to have our own. That's a targeted tariff. So like steel, we need to be able to make enough steel here. We need to be able to make steel here. If our steel production disappears, that's a bad thing. But putting tariffs on coffee doesn't help national security in any way, shape, or form. Shell. Tariffs will cause economic crash. They certainly have the capability of doing that. Certainly have the capability of doing that. Hi, Lori. They always make things more expensive. And at a time when people can't afford to do things is not the time to make things more expensive. Bet that the border is not closed. You think people aren't coming across the border? People are still coming across the border. I'm glad you would pay more to other countries. You're not paying more to other countries with a tariff. And it's not our national debt. Us buying money from another country is not doing anything to our national debt. The billions upon trillions of dollars of wealth that aren't getting taxed are the things that's killing our national debt. The fact that we're not taxing our billionaires. American manufacturers are already dying. And if people can't afford things, that's going to kill American manufacturing too. You think people making things in America is going to keep them open if people can't afford things made in America? Most of our debt is not owed to China. Most of our debt is owed to Americans. Billionaire wealth? Yes. Because it just sits there and they don't pay any taxes on it. They never spend it. They take out loans based on their wealth. So they never get taxed on it. Morning, Patty. Hey, Orange Sky. How are you? Is clearly measured in freedom units. Thank you, Patty. Guys, just so you know, at 11, so in 50 minutes, we'll be interviewing another person who's running for Congress, this time in Illinois. I posted about it. If you wouldn't mind going and liking it and sharing it, reposting it and all that stuff, so we can try and get as many people here for that as possible. I want more people here for that than we had before. I want to get these big. I want a lot of people to see these candidates. What's up, Phantom? You were right. 1930s tariffs, Great Depression, or at least made it worse and longer. It technically didn't start it, but it made it worse and longer. Are freedom units related to freedom fries? 100%. Yes, Silver. They're 100% related to freedom fries. Guys, if you are new over here on TikTok, just so you know, I over on the tube, I'm interviewing progressives that are running for state and federal positions. Please go watch them. Help them get some name recognition and visibility. That's how we get the change that we keep talking about. So listen to your podcast before I have to get ready for work. I appreciate that. In fact, the guest that I'm going to have today is someone that I interviewed a while back. So, and their primary is coming up. I think their election in Illinois is the 13th, I think. It's either the 13th or the 17th. I forget which. There's a lot of reasons why the dollar is worth 40 cents. It's not just because of the Fed. These tariffs are causing the crash of the dollar too. And this administration has increased our national debt already by a lot and is going to continue thanks to her big piece of shit bill. It is not just because of the Fed. Sure, the Fed doing what they have done in different events has helped, but did not cause it. Well, he added 2 trillion, over 2 trillion in 2025. He's going to add about another over 2 trillion this year. And it's going to keep going up because of the big, beautiful bill. And they're saying by the end of this of the big, beautiful bill, the tax code of the big, beautiful bill, they're going to add at least 4 trillion to the national debt. Full numbers are over the last 20 years. I don't care. It does not change the fact that every administration makes debt. Not at this rate. Especially when this administration said that they were going, and actually, that's not completely true. Bill Clinton actually lowered the national debt. So, no, not every administration. But this administration ran on lowering the national debt, not raising it. And yet they're raising it. Morning, Kelly. He has not been stopped at it. What are you talking about? He's been stopped at doing things that are illegal. But you think the only way that he can fix things is through doing stuff that's illegal? That's pretty sad. How about he doesn't decrease the taxes on billionaires so we bring in less money? Then we could do things like pay down the national debt. How about not increasing the Pentagon budget to like $1 trillion? That would help do it too. Oh, we've put ourselves in lots of situations where war is possible. Why do you think there's a buildup at Iran? Iran, excuse me. Iran. Hey, Missy. Morning, Zoe. How about ban lobbies? I would love to ban lobbies. We need to vote people into office that are willing to do it. The Iranians do not want Islam out. They just don't want the current regime to be running things. And not everyone in Iran feels that way. But no, they don't want Islam out. But I would love to ban lobbying. And there's a lot of people running that would love to ban lobbying. Haven't you been saying the same shit for years? What? What have I been saying for years? MC. What have I been saying for years? Well, never mind. And Power and Grace, you may be right. We may end up looking back at it and going, yeah, we are modern day Roman Empire. I don't think we are yet. I think if the American people don't step up and fix this problem, then sure, we could absolutely become that. I don't think we are yet, though. That's my opinion, though. I understand that. Politics existed during the time of Jesus, and he never in any way said to not care about politics. Society still exists. We'll see, Zoe. Too bad God isn't helping me with taxes. Politics is why he was sacrificed. No. Not if you're a Christian, that's not why. Been in the church for 47 years, and that is not what we were taught. Yeah, pay to Caesar what is Caesar's. Pizza, pizza. Conservatives created that, Evie. You seem to be in this identity politics problem and not understanding that The word Democrat and the word Republican are just names. What you stand for is what matters. Do I think they purposely have two parties so we are divided? No. No. I think they did something that they thought would be the best way of doing things, and it turns out it's not. But because money and power are involved, people don't the people in power don't want to get rid of it. But I do not think the two-party system was created so we are divided. We need 4 to 5 legitimate parties equally funded. Again, won't happen unless we get people in office that are in state and federal office that are willing to overturn, to create a new amendment to get rid of the electoral party system. There will never be 4 to 5 legitimate parties with an electoral system with the electoral college in existence. It will not happen, ever. It cannot happen. Is the pizza any good? Them. It's hot and ready. But is it good? It's hot and it's ready. True. True. Oh, the kitties are in. Everyone say hi, hello to the kitties over on the tube. Man, people are angry. Yep. I got mods. We're good. Thank you, Zoe. The way Bone Spur Draft Dodger spoke about John McCain was disturbing. The way he speaks about everybody is disturbing. Not just him. The way he speaks about himself is disturbing. What's up, Mission? How you doing, buddy? We're doing good. We're doing good. Trying to decide if I'm going to watch the State of the Union tonight. I kind of feel like I have to. Stupid political reporting job thing. But I'm probably going to make a bingo card regarding it. Oh, I understand, Kia. I'd rather have a root canal. It's going to require a big card. I think he's going to say a lot of the same things over and over and over again. I'll support you in watching it. Volume will be down if I'm in the live, though. Fair. This may be a rumor, but Samsung moving a facility from Texas to Canada, can't find a source. Think he'll talk about the mice again? You know, actually, dissent does, you know, the dissent is the Clarence Thomas disagreeing does not make it not unconstitutional, dude. 6 actually said that they were. And not all of them, just the ones that were done via IEPA. Look, I think all of the ones he's done are bad and should go away. But the reality is the only thing that this Supreme Court decision was based on was the IEPA rule, was the IEPA tariffs. I think I have to wash my hair during that time period or feed the dogs or something. Clarence Thomas agreeing with you weakens your argument. Truth. Truth. Yeah, if you're using Clarence Thomas as your argument, will the World Cup get moved from Mexico? I mean, no one's going to show up in the United States either, so I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. We'll have to see if it's still being if there's still stuff going on by that time. Several airports are closed in that region. Yeah, it's pretty bad. You see him thanking the FIFA guy for his, see Trump thanking the FIFA guy for his peace award bullshit. He's like, Norway wouldn't give me one, so FIFA had to. It's like, I have never seen a more narcissistic human being in my entire life. What's up, Shug? Guys, if you're hanging out here, please tap on that nose. If you're not following and you like the content, if you like the idea of having hard conversations when necessary, please throw a follow. Trying to grow this platform. especially over on the tube. The whole situation with the men's hockey makes me sad. Yup. It's disgusting. What's up, Shug? Shug, you should have an emote now for fire lips. Patty. Thank you. What men's hockey thing? So the men won. The men's team won. And when Trump called, he made a joke that he was apologizing because he was quote unquote forced to congratulate the women for winning, even though, and forced to invite them to the White House. And they thought it was funny. Has Bone Spur snatched up the gold medals yet? No, not yet. Hey, Bobia. Well, I know they declined. I would decline too if I heard that level of bullshit from the president. Oh, that's a joke? It's a bad joke. It's a misogynistic joke. It's a disgusting joke. Grow up. I heard about it, Chrissy. Trump telling the men's hockey team on a call to that he was sorry that he had to call and congratulate and invite the women's hockey team for them winning. Humor is it's not humorous. That's what you don't get, DK. It's not funny. It's misogynistic and disgusting. Why can't you get that? It is not even a bit funny. Women have been fighting for respect for their entire life. And the women's hockey team, by all accounts, is better and more successful than the men's team by leaps and bounds. And yet the men's team is the only one that gets coverage, and they have to apologize. And the president of the United States is apologizing for having to invite the women's team and congratulate the women's team. That's not funny. That's being a misogynist. And if you think that's funny, that means you're a misogynist. Why can't you hear that? Why can't you just accept that some things that used to be considered funny are not? Oh, okay, Wendell. No, we're going to impeach him because he's a corrupt piece of shit. That's why he'd get impeached. Not because he didn't invite the women's hockey team. Why aren't people allowed to respond before your mods block them? There are certain things that aren't allowed, and if they say them, then their mods block them. And actually, they don't usually block them, they just mute them. They allow them to come back the next day for some. So I don't have conversations with certain people. If there are people that don't agree with my fundamentals, you can't have a conversation with that. There are rules. And the biggest rule here, don't be a misogynist piece of shit. That is one of the biggest rules here. We don't allow misogyny, racism, sexism, anything against the LGBTQIA community because of who they are. Those kind of conversations don't happen. Sure, there are plenty of other places where you can have those conversations if you want. This ain't one of them. Hey, Tom, how are things in Belgium? Guys, just so you know, in about 20 minutes, we're going to be interviewing a friend of mine. Well, a new friend of mine who I've made. Her name is Annabelle Mendoza. She's running for Congress in Illinois. So if you can ask questions. This is the time to learn more about her. Make sure, if you don't mind, to go repost the little video that I posted talking about the interview we're about to do. That would help a lot. Thank you, Ted. Appreciate you. Oh, I forgot. I need to start small, right? All right, we're going to start small. Shug! Thank you, Kia. Thank you, Shug. Ah, yes. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you all so very, very much. Canada's always had a great relationship with the US until Bone Spur got into the picture. Yep. That's true. Kids are running amok. I keep hearing paws and claws sliding on the floor. There you go. Linda! Guys, thank you. Leaving the ice hack hole that is New Jersey right now. There you go. You think he will grab the Latola and replace him with one of the smart? Yep, I know. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm getting a different one. There's no rhyme or reason to any of these things. Good morning, Minnesota Mom. The sun is out in full force today. Temps are going to get warmer, and all this snow melting is going to make new rivers. Yup. Fire lips. Thank you, Minnesota Mom. Appreciate you guys. I think so. Yeah, I can try that next time. Chug. Chug. You set 3 each live? The Dow drops again. Oh, is it going down again? Good. I mean, not good, but good. Aaron, I gotta get bigger over on the tube before I can get emotes over there. Unfortunately. By the way, if you're not following over the tube, please consider doing it. I am 91 away from 2,000. 91 subscribers away from 2,000 over on the tube. Got a lot of videos I post every day over there. Some great videos with some great people. But I would love to put the fire lips up over on the tube. That would be awesome. 4 more friendship necklaces. 4 more. FBI. Yeah, I saw that. That was ridiculous too. Yep. All right. So we're going to set up a multi one. Good mythical morning, Eleanor. How are you? Good mythical morning. It's not letting me start it. Other countries tax us. No, they tax their own people. Barbie. Tariffs are a tax on your own people. They are a tax on your own people. Why are you running? I'm not running. Why are you running? Yeah, it's not letting me. There is no save in studio on the top right. There's a confirm on my bottom, on the bottom. And it seems that it's only letting me do one at a time. Yeah, it's only letting me do one. That's annoying. Jared Kushner's father is banned from meeting French government as U.S. ambassador. Maybe. What's funny is when a goal finishes and I go to start a new one, it gives me 3, but then when I hit confirm, nothing happens. So I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, so after you set the 3 goals, it may not say save in studio, but at the top right of the box, there should be, it almost looks like a little bullseye, just like a little clear circle. Do you not have that?
Nope.
Because that's for me. That's why, because I kept one day, I was like 15 minutes late because I couldn't figure out how to get them bitches to set. And then I realized, like, once I went through, confirmed all of it the last time, then I had to click that little thing at the right.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I'll have to see if I can find out from Carly because she does it. There's a way she does it, and she uses Studio where you can actually, she does like 4 sometimes, and it actually will come up on your screen and a person can just click that and it will send from there, and it will actually tally for you as well how much you've gotten from all of, how many you've gotten in each one of those. I'll see if I can figure out how to do that.
All right. Yeah, it's
Okay.
weird because when one confirms and I start a new one, it pops up 3, but it never gets any farther than that. It's so weird.
Have a good day, Zoe.
See you, Zoe.
Okay. Yeah, because that's for me. That was the one thing, and I was like, well, maybe it doesn't say save, but like I know after I set the 3 gifts, confirmed that last time before I actually go live, I have to hit that little circle at the top. Then all the goals are set for me.
Sounds good.
That's all I wanted. You can go ahead and kick me. I know you got your guests coming.
You all
And I did
right?
all the things. I commented, reposted.
Appreciate that. Democratic leaders scrambling to prevent repeat of last year's rowdy State of the Union. I mean, I wouldn't say that they're scrambling to prevent a repeat. I don't know what they're doing. Let's be fair. I don't know what they're doing. Why are we acting like the other side hasn't been yelling and acting like a fool at the State of the Union since Obama? I don't know. Hey, Carla. I'm curious as to what we're going to see. Like I said, that's one of the reasons why I want to get on. I want to see what we're going to see, you know? Oh. Yes, it did. Because this is TikTok. And TikTok filters frickin' everything. Guys, if you don't want to get filtered, go over to the tube. So much nicer. I'm all for acting the fool and being petty. There you go. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see everyone who disagrees, either him, just stand with their back to him. Mm-hmm. That would be nice too. BT, Jolly, Riggs, Mermaid, Brenna, Lysandra are all in DC for the thing tonight. Gotcha. Must be nice. No, they are not. Tariffs are not how the Republic was built. Show us how, where. It's called the Supreme Court. The IEEPA tariffs were deemed unconstitutional. That is why they overturned them. Oh yeah, he's gonna make a fool of himself. 100%. Why are they allowed right now? Because they're going to have to go through courts. They're using a different statute to do the worldwide tariffs. And they have probably already been started through the court system. But yes, they're using a different statute to do the 10% worldwide tariffs. Not sure who else is there. Hope and assume that USMC Angry Vet is going to be there too. Probably. No, he put a 10% tariff on everything on every country and the entire planet. He did not add 10% to the already tariffs. The IEEPA tariffs, go away today. Any other tariffs that were there for other reasons that may not even have to do with the president are still in effect. And he added a 10% tariff to every country on everything in the world. Under a different statute. He did not add 10% to the already tariffs. I miss the State of the Union sounding presidential. He's punishing us because he got told no and he's a whiny baby. Yup. So true. Hey, Betty. I miss the president sounding presidential. Also true. Most countries have tariffs on the US. So? They're taxing their own people. Who says it's a good thing? They're not taxing us with tariffs. They're taxing themselves with tariffs. If most countries jumped off a bridge, so US has to have tariffs. False. That's not how it works. This isn't an eye for an eye. This is called economics. And we do have tariffs. We had tariffs before Trump came in. Just because other countries are taxing their own people, we should tax our own people? Hey, P. Jeffries. No, when you ship things without it, you have no money coming in from them countries. False. That is not how tariffs work. No, it's not. It's literally not true at all. Hey, Candace. Good morning. No, it's a tariff on the received product, not on the shipped product. The received product. The people that did the importing pay the tax, not the exporter on the other country. That is not surprising, non-useful, unfortunately. How many times do you have to say it? Probably a billion more. Probably a billion more. Mhm. 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 But on the other hand, your mom. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, friend.
Hey, hey, long time no see.
I
How are you?
know. I am doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Probably
Feeling,
tired out of your mind.
yes, definitely tired. And I'm also fasting with my husband, so I'm less
Oh, yeah.
caffeinated than usual. When we get up at like 5, no, earlier, I drink coffee at that time, but then it's just, it doesn't hit the same as
Yeah.
when it's my usual time to have coffee.
Yeah.
So a little tired, but hanging in there, feeling pretty good otherwise.
There you go. Uh, for everyone who's on, so you're on YouTube and TikTok right now.
Nice. Hey, everybody.
So this is Annabelle Mendoza. She is running for the 7th district in
Yep.
Illinois. And
Correct.
she's amazing. If you haven't watched the video where I interview her, get your butt over there and watch it and share it with people, because Annabelle wants to do some awesome things for her district and the country, and she needs help from people like you guys, all of us.
Yes. Seriously, gonna take all of us. So
Yeah. Do you want to take a second and introduce yourself to everyone, let people know
Yeah.
about you, and then I'm sure a ton of people will come up with questions, because that always happens.
Yeah, no, super excited to be here. Thanks for having me back on. Was really looking forward to this. And for everybody watching, hi, my name is Annabelle Mendoza. I am running for Congress in Illinois 7th District, which is much of Chicago's downtown, all of the Loop area, our south and west sides, and some of our nearby western suburbs. I'm a lifelong Chicagoan, grew up in this city my entire life, love this city dearly despite the cold. I grew up on the southwest side in a neighborhood called West Lawn. So if you ever come to Chicago and you visit and you land in Midway Airport, that's the neighborhood that you're landing in. And that's where I grew up and had just really awesome memories as a kid of growing up in West Lawn. It was a very tight knit, predominantly Latino, heavily immigrant community, working class. But it was also the time where I saw my parents really struggle. They are they were working class and were working constantly to pick up extra shifts and bring more money home, and still there were times where at the end of the month they only had a few dollars, and I'm the youngest of 3, and so I saw what it looked like for them to stretch quite literally $9 to try to put food on the table. After I graduated from Northwestern University with my degrees in journalism, I thought that I wanted to be a reporter. And then I decided that I actually have very strong opinions about the issues that I'm reporting on. So, probably not fair for me to pretend that I can be objective, and pivoted 180 into the immigrant rights movement, where I've been working ever since. And I work for an immigrant youth led organization, the largest immigrant youth led organization in the country. Very proud to work there. And every day I get to organize alongside young people in high school and college who are starting their lives, and build power and push the levers of power and try to push those in Congress to do the right thing, which, as we know, can be very challenging, which leads me to now why I'm running, to shake things up and hopefully make some big swings.
Yeah. We got a question over on the tube. What is your political background, schooling, volunteer work, offices held, etc.?
Yeah, so this is my first time running for office. I went to school at Northwestern University, got my bachelor's and my master's degree in journalism from Medill. And when I got my master's, I was specifically studying social justice and investigative reporting. That was my track. And then afterwards, did a little bit of freelancing. I did long investigative pieces on the COVID-19 outbreak inside some of Illinois' prisons. I looked at the conditions that immigrant children who are unaccompanied face inside federal detention facilities. And again, through that exposure, realized I actually do have strong opinions about these issues. I decided to move then into the immigrant rights movement. I've led national coalitions that have blocked tens of billions of our taxpayer dollars from going to ICE and CBP. I've been on the front lines defending programs like DACA against Trump's attacks, and at the United States Supreme Court. And now that leads me to run for office and hopefully bring fresh energy, new blood, and a lot of fire to this moment where we're facing just so many compounding crises.
Yeah.
And we need people who aren't going to mince words, who aren't going to play it small. And I'm not here to play it small.
Um, someone's asking, so they're saying they're from the UK and they love Chicago. How
Yay!
how important is the special relationship with the UK to you?
Oh, look, I think that we have to always build relationships with allies and have, strong relationships with other countries. We are seeing that right now the Trump administration is quite literally tearing those relationships down.
Yep.
And even with our closest allies. And it is a disgrace. And I think that it's really shameful to have the leader of our country go after other countries and not only try to criticize their leadership, but we've seen his horrible tariff policy that has totally frayed relationships with other countries and also hurt working families here in Chicago and across the country, raising prices for folks. So, strong proponent of building strong ties, especially with the UK and other countries around the world.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, we'll just keep talking.
Yeah.
um, so you guys have you have a lot of people running in your primary.
Yes.
12 is what
13.
13. I knew it was a
13.
lot.
Yeah. On the Democratic side. Yes.
Right. And your primary election starts or
So
is
we're
when?
already in the
Right.
early voting stage,
Right.
but the election day is March 17th.
March
So it's
17th.
right around the corner.
Yep. Yep. That's why we wanted to get you on here because we knew what
Yeah,
office
so
you.
if folks live in the 7th district, which is wonky, again, this is all of the Loop area. So if you live in the Loop or you live on this, most of the south and west sides are covered in this district. So if you live in Chinatown, Bridgeport, Bronzeville, a little bit of Bronzeville, you go, some of back of the yards is in here. You go all the way south to West Englewood, and then you go west through UIC, Medical District, uh, Garfield Park, North Lawndale, Austin, Oak Park, River Forest, Forest Park, all the way west to Westchester. We do include a little bit of like just a tiny bit of the north side. We go all the way up to Old Town and not all of Old Town, a little bit of Wicker Park and a little bit of Humboldt Park. But folks can see the map. It's pretty wonky. So you really have to check out where you live if you live in the city.
Kat, it's a U.S. congressional district, so it would be about around 750,000 people in the district. That is,
Yeah, there's close to 800,000 people who
yeah.
live in the district. Yeah.
And I know Annabelle said her district, but if you live in Illinois, get out and vote in your
Oh
primaries
yeah,
because they're
please.
going right now.
Wherever you live,
Or
please vote.
Texas, or North Carolina, or Arkansas. I think those are the 4 states that are definitely going right now. I
Yes.
think there might be at least one other that's going right now.
A lot of important races. So please not only make sure you're registered to vote and go out to vote, but get your relatives, your family, your friends, make sure that they're going out to vote. There's a lot of important races
Yep.
happening across the country. What I'll say about this district is that it's considered the bluest seat in the state of Illinois, but it's the first open primary that we've had in nearly 30 years. And whether it's a safe blue seat or it's a toss up between a Republican and a Democrat, please go out and vote. It is so important. And honestly, if we don't vote, then there will be a time where we're no longer saying this seat is a safe blue seat, right?
Yeah.
So please go out and vote.
Yep. And what I say to all the people that I'm interviewing is people like Annabelle are not taking PAC money. They are specifically wanting things like accountability and to fix the
Yes.
problems that we've been talking about for a decade. And
Yeah.
the only way to get this to happen, it's not just about flipping a red to blue. Sometimes it's flipping an incumbent to a
Absolutely.
progressive.
Yes, we've seen even within the Democratic Party, and that is one of my biggest criticisms is how much the Democratic Party has lost touch with everyday families and has been bought by corporate PACs, big oil. weapons manufacturers, APAC, right? All of these
Yep.
outside interests that have an outsized influence on their decision making. And we see that. We see that when elected officials or candidates will tell us to our face one thing. They'll tell us, oh, we're here to represent you. We're here to fight for all these different things. We're with you. And then we see the next day they voted against something that we were pushing for,
Yep.
right? They're actively standing in the way of progress. So yeah, I'm very outspoken about getting those interests out of our politics. It's certainly something that I would fight for if elected to Congress. And obviously, I'm not taking a single penny from any of these entities because I do believe that it's at the heart of the corruption. And again, if you are getting your pockets lined by these outside interests, they're the ones pulling the strings behind the scenes. You are not your own person. You are not standing on your own 2 feet, 10 toes down,
Yep.
making the decisions that actually are meant to serve your constituents. And I know the consequences of that because I grew up in this city in a working class family, and the consequences are families like mine getting pushed to the margins
Yep.
constantly,
Yep.
being told that there's never enough.
Yep. Uh, guys, this is your chance to ask her questions. You guys, I know you guys have about a trillion questions. Um, if you have the ability to jump on the live on TikTok just on your phone and just say something, we can
Oh,
tag you up there, and that way people can follow you there too. That'll help as well. Um,
great.
what are big issues you hear from your constituents?
That's a great question. So it because this is such a diverse district, racially diverse, but also in terms of income inequality, you have quite literally the richest parts of Chicago concentrated mostly in the downtown area, areas like Streeterville, for instance. And then you also have the most historically neglected and disinvested neighborhoods. And it's not surprising, probably, to anybody that Chicago is an extremely segregated city. Many Black and Brown communities are segregated to the south and west sides of Chicago and are dealing with so many challenges when it comes to affordability, affordable housing, affordable and dignified housing. Lead pipes and contaminants in the water and air pollution is also something that predominantly hurts the south and west sides because we have neighborhoods like Back of the Yards or like Bridgeport where there's a lot of manufacturing and the pollutants in the air or the lead pipes in the water. Again, these are mostly Black and Brown families that are living in these areas. So environmental racism is a big one, especially removing lead pipes and ensuring that our infrastructure is able to sustain a healthy environment for everyone. And I definitely know that, again, I said housing, but in areas like Garfield's Park, there are many tenants that live in affordable housing that has not been kept up. The conditions are absolutely awful. And I've been inside these buildings. I've spoken to the tenants and I've organized alongside them to expose the conditions that they're facing. Conditions like mold, living in standing water, individuals who do not have a functioning stove or a functioning shower. This is not, nobody would accept these living conditions for themselves. And
Yeah.
the fact that the federal government has put restrictions on how the city can use the funding that they receive to make repairs makes it nearly impossible for them to actually address the conditions inside these facilities. When I go even west to areas like Oak Park, for instance, ICE is a huge issue. And that's something I hear a lot too across the district, because ICE has terrorized Chicago. It has gone into some of our suburbs like Oak Park and quite literally torn apart people and families and terrorized individuals on the streets. And this is something that I hear often. And I think that this moment requires also leadership that can connect the dots between all of these issues. Whether you live in Garfield Park and affordable housing is top of mind, or you live in some other neighborhood in the district and getting ICE out of your communities is top of mind. These are connected because at the end of the day, it's how our taxpayer dollars are allocated. We are spending 170 billion in the last appropriations bill to ICE and CBP. That's money that will not come back into this district to address affordable housing.
Yep.
That is money that will not come back to address removing lead pipes. And so all of these things are interconnected. And I think that that is why it has been my mission to ultimately unite this district, and get out of our silos because, again, our neighborhoods are very segregated. I want to build a unified district. I believe that that is how we survive this moment.
Yeah. And just so everyone knows, the ice facility that was at the center of when
Yep.
they were
Broadview.
full in Chicago, Broadview is in her district. So
Yes.
her district has faced a lot of the brunt of
Yeah.
um
And I think something I'll say about Broadview is, I've had the chance to chat with folks in Broadview, residents, and talk about what this facility, the impact that this facility has had. And not only do they want the facility shut down, but they actually want to make sure that whatever comes next, the folks in Broadview get to determine what is placed in their neighborhoods. I've heard folks say they want a museum. They want something in their neighborhoods that brings people together. And that's also part of it, is centering the voices of those in their neighborhoods and what it is they want to see out of their communities,
yeah.
and then going and fighting like hell to try to bring those resources and make those things possible.
Do you have plans to ensure protections for disabled people?
Yes, absolutely. I think that is a please go check out my website because I have an entire section on disability justice. It's something I feel very strongly about, knowing that there's so many challenges that disability justice intersects with every single issue. I've seen it intersect with immigration rights. I've worked with kiddos in federal detention facilities who do have disabilities, and one of the advocates who I worked closely along, her focus was on disability justice. So I've made sure that that is an intentional part of my platform to strengthen disability rights and making sure that communities have the resources that they deserve. I think one disability that is often ignored in this current landscape is long COVID. I think that that is something that when we have RFK Jr. at the helm of HHS that does not believe in science and has challenged the efficacy of vaccines and pretends as if COVID is over, he is quite literally putting individuals' health at risk. And long COVID is something that is affecting so many people's lives, including children. And it's something that we need to
Yeah.
invest in the research. We need to listen and follow the experts, including those who have been impacted by long COVID, and ensure that, again, those resources are prioritized. One thing I'll add about the long COVID piece is that in this district in particular, where you have regions, right, where, as I mentioned, you're already dealing with environmental racism, pollutants in the air, lead in the water. All of these are going to disproportionately harm those who are immunocompromised.
Yep.
And that also has the element and the layer that most of those neighborhoods are predominantly Black and brown. And so there's, again, the intersection of all of these issues. And so I think
Yeah.
disability justice is something that needs to be centered when we are talking about solutions and investments in our communities. So something I feel strongly about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Has anyone ever offered you PAC money? If so, can she say who so that we can research any other candidates or office holders those companies have their hands in?
No, I think I've been so outspoken from the very beginning that they were like, we're not even going to approach this girl. So no, I have not had anyone come to me saying, hey, take this money. Um, Yeah. So I'm sorry I don't have more of a spicier answer. It's just been no. I think because I was
Yeah.
very clear from the start. So
And
yeah.
there's a couple people in your district that are running that are pretty outspoken about not taking it. So
Yes, yes. And you know what? That should be the norm. That is
should
where
be.
we need to get, right? We need to get to that place where that is the litmus test. Because again, as I was saying, if you have elected officials or candidates who are seeking to represent you, they have to be the ones. I have to be the one to go out there and do the work to earn your support. You get to ask the hard questions. You get to see, am I worthy of your vote? Right.
Yeah.
And I think that too long politics has been led by ego. It's been led by a place of entitlement that you have to vote for me, blah, blah, blah. And I think that now is the time that, especially younger generations, are very outspoken about exposing those whose intentions and values are not aligned with that of their constituents or that of everyday people.
Yeah. Can you we lost it. Where is it? Can you work with other reps to start talking about the other ICE victims, not only good and pretty?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Can you work with other reps to start talking about the other ICE victims, not only
Yeah,
good and pretty?
absolutely. And I'm going to say this, in the work that I do, I am talking about the deaths that have happened inside of these facilities every single day. It's why I know that the terror we've been seeing on our streets, live streamed to our phones, is not new. It
Yeah.
has awakened many communities, but it is not new. I have been on the front lines pulling, trying to be on and lead committees and lead coalitions that block money to ICE and CBP, because I know exactly where that money goes. It goes into these facilities that in 2025, we had one of our deadliest years in ICE facilities with over 30 people who died.
Yeah.
That those are deaths that are not talked about.
Yep.
In the work that I do, not only are we talking about it, we are advocating to get people out of these facilities. We are advocating to make sure that these agencies do not get a single penny. And one of the things I've been very outspoken about is that, you know, with what we have been seeing with ICE and CBP, many people have been calling to abolish ICE. Yes, fully support that. But that is only one part of it. ICE and CBP are two sides of the same coin. We often see more Border Patrol agents out in our streets than we do ICE agents. At the same time, DHS is at the helm of all of this. Not
Sure.
only do we need to dismantle DHS, we need to impeach Secretary Noem. We need to prosecute every single agent that has violated someone's due process rights, killed somebody in the streets, violated the Constitution. And we also need to hold these agencies accountable for the mass deaths that are happening on their watch
Yeah.
inside of these facilities that, quite frankly, not many people are paying attention to. And I have seen it year after year after year, which is why I made it my career to work in the immigrant rights movement and call attention to this. So it's something I'm never going to back down from.
There you go. Uh, do you have an example of how you've bridged a gap between opposing views?
Have I bridged a gap between opposing views? Well, I think actually, I mean, I'll talk about immigration a little bit more.
Sure.
There was so I hope I'm not like getting too into the weeds, but
We like
in
the weeds here. We were talking about water tables and stuff in the last live we did with a candidate, so we're good.
Okay, good. Well, I'll say this, that when you are campaigning, one of the things that you do a lot is call time. You're calling people, letting them know about your campaign, trying to get them interested in your campaign. Sometimes you're calling voters directly,
Yep.
obviously. So, in this campaign, I did have a conversation with someone, a business owner who lives in the Loop. And we had been chatting, and from the start of the conversation, didn't feel like he was really with me. And I think maybe had some more moderate views than I did.
Hmm.
But in this conversation, he had said, I just want to make sure that he had openly said he's going to support one of my opponents who is taking APAC aligned money. And I had, just kept going with the conversation. He is a business owner. So
Yeah.
I had asked him, out of curiosity, how has the immigration raids and the presence of ICE and CBP, how has that affected your business? And it opened up a whole different conversation. He started to go into how many of his workers feel afraid, how his clientele has decreased because people are afraid to actually come out to his pub. It was he owns a pub. And from there, I started talking about my background in immigration.
Mm.
And this was a moment where I think there was a bridge built between our different perspectives and our different experiences. Because when we think about, again, when we think about immigration, there is the impact on our small businesses. There is the impact on our local economy that these raids have. And I knew that he wasn't going to be, someone who resonated with me saying like abolish ICE and do all these different things. But the minute he told me he was a small business owner, I knew that there was an impact there that is often ignored.
Yeah.
And so that's where I leaned into. And I think that's part of what it takes to be effective in this role when you're talking to different constituents from different backgrounds
Mhm.
is to hear what it is that's top of mind for them. Listen more than you're talking. And oftentimes that is something that leadership fails to do. Love to talk, talk, talk.
Yeah.
But
They sure
oftentimes
love
we're
to
not,
talk.
yeah. And oftentimes we're not hearing what are the challenges, what are the things that are coming up for this individual, and finding the points of connection that actually allow you to build some type of relationship and trust. And I felt that by the end of the call, he did even say it to me. He was like, look, like I wasn't expecting to like like what you're saying this much, but it was an eye-opening moment where I felt like we had created a moment there that he understood a little bit more about me and I
Yeah.
understood a little bit more about him.
Yeah. How do you plan on forcing ICE to comply with oversight?
Look, I think that we need more leverage in Congress. One of the main tools that Congress has to exercise is our oversight responsibilities. It's why I would make it my priority to be appointed to the House Oversight Committee,
Mm.
because that is one of the ways that we can ensure the 7th District has a strong voice that is going to bring these agents and these agencies before us and hold them accountable. It matters what committees you're on, right?
Yeah.
If you're not on the right committees, you're not going to have the same kind of power. And this is a time where we need more strong, unapologetic voices in Congress who are going to be able to tip the scales in a way that allows us to actually create the pressure to have oversight and hold these agents accountable. If
Yeah.
you only have 3 strong progressive voices on the House Oversight Committee, you're not going to be able to actually get the results that you want. And so I've always said it's not just about me as an individual member of Congress if I'm elected. It is about the block that you're able to build. It is about the coalition that you're able to build that is all going to move unified towards that direction. And
Yeah.
that is why it's so important that we are selective about who it is that represents us. Again, as one voice, you're not going to get much done.
Yep.
Part of your responsibility in Congress is to be really smart and strategic about how you build the right coalitions at the right time. That's what politics is, making the right decisions at the right time.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I think we need more voices, hopefully voices like mine, that can add to that pressure, add to that leverage on the right committees.
Rosa has a question on the other side. Which one? Because I read her one about the opposing views question. Is there another one? This might sound weird, but does she also maintain a level of self-care? It's important to put on your own mask to have oxygen to fight.
Oh, that is such a sweet question. Thank you for it. Look, I'm sure maybe my mom is watching this and she's like, no, she does not take care of herself enough. So sorry about that. But look, I try. And I will say this, that one of my closest friends is someone who holds me accountable to this. She is someone who is constantly pushing me to take a break and make sure that I'm, refilling my cup.
Yep.
I have a very strong family unit, very strong, and I could not be doing this campaign without them, especially my husband, who has been by my side throughout all of this campaign. He is quite literally the man who does it all behind the scenes, and he is my rock. And so I have the support system that lifts me up, and 100% that is what refills my cup. And I will say, I'm sitting on my like dining room chair right now, but I've got my little doggy here.
Aww.
This is Tots, everybody. And she is the light of my life and is pretty much all the self-care I need. If I can cuddle with her and have her with me, in many ways, I've said if I get elected, I'm bringing her to DC. She's going to be in my office, because she might even be on the committee floor one day.
There you go.
She's what helps me fill my cup up a lot. So yes, I am taking care of myself.
So is your friend a Veronica?
No, Veronica's my mom. Is she
Oh.
on there?
Said definitely not enough self-care. I'm working on it.
That's my mama. Show her some love, y'all.
So everyone say hi to Veronica. That's Annabelle's mom. Would you be willing to be one of the forefront representatives to not only impeach Noam, but also remove her from position?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. Pretty simple. Yes.
I think there's a lot of people running now that would be willing to be on the forefront of that.
Yeah, absolutely. If y'all saw my last video of me at the debate, that's the kind of fire I'm going to bring.
Yeah.
That's the kind of energy I'm going to bring, because that's what we need. And you all, as voters, as constituents, deserve nothing less than that.
Any more questions? Do you, Yvonne said you only had 30 minutes, or are you going to be able to stick around till the noon?
I do have to hop, but I can stay on for a couple more minutes if there's any other questions.
Okay. Looks like we got time for a question or two. So if anyone's got one or two more before she's got to jump off.
Folks can always ask questions on my Instagram too.
True.
I've been trying to do that more. So,
how do you like your morning coffee / tea?
Oh, I drink my morning coffee just with cream, no sugar.
There you go.
I'm pretty simple with that, and I love coffee. So I'm also someone who will drink it at like 10 o'clock at night, and it does nothing to keep me up. I will be out. Listen, when it's bedtime, I'm out.
Okay, let's settle this now. Pineapple on pizza.
Absolutely not.
Hey, man.
No.
That's correct.
I will take like Cholula. I'll put Cholula on my pizza. I like some banana peppers on my pizza.
Oh, banana peppers are great.
So good.
Yep.
Yeah. And you know what? My husband doesn't like Jet's pizza, but I love Jet's pizza. It's like, it's like fast food pizza, but it's Detroit style, and it's really, really good.
How do you plan on motivating your colleagues when you're elected?
Look, I think that this moment requires folks who are going to meet the urgency that we're facing. Again, we're staring down the barrel of so many different crises. And it's going to require someone who's going to go into Congress, who is going to stay true to their values, and is going to do the work to push their colleagues to be better. And there's already so many strong electeds, we know that are doing a lot of really great work, but as I've said, don't have the full leverage in Congress. I'm excited to join some of those folks like Representative Rashida Tlaib. I look forward to, if I'm elected, being able to work with her. And those are relationships that I want to build and deepen.
Yeah.
But I ultimately think that at the end of the day, we have to, what matters is how we are able to push others to be bolder in their stances. That, I think, is going to be a test of how effective I am as a leader. Was I able to also push other people to be bolder?
Yep.
And I think that that's something that I've even done on in the campaign.
Yep.
So I'm really proud of that.
And I just want to make sure I point out before she heads out, I did interview Annabelle about a month ago, and it posted actually less than that, but make sure you go check it out. We talked about a lot of things then as well. We talked about a lot of like,
I'm sorry, she's hilarious. She is like, isn't she perfect?
Like, why are you doing this to me, mommy? Why?
Like, I thought it was bedtime still.
So make sure you go watch that. Also follow her everywhere. She's over on TikTok. She's on Insta. She's everywhere. Um, yeah. If something pops up, I'll ask it quick. But I do appreciate you coming up. And obviously, when you win the primaries, we'll have you back on again for a full out,
Would love that. Yes,
session.
absolutely. Yeah, thank you for all the thoughtful questions, y'all. Please make sure to get involved if you're excited by this campaign. Wherever you are, please vote, and also get your loved ones, your friends out to vote as well.
Oh, how are you going to work with Congress to protect and encourage whistleblowers?
Oh gosh, yeah. That is a big one because we have seen how whistleblowers have been targeted, have faced retaliation, and one of the things that I think we need to strengthen whistleblower protections. We need to pass legislation that actually protects whistleblowers so
Yeah.
that when they come forward, when they expose injustice, when they expose corruption, their safety is not threatened, right? Their livelihoods are not threatened. That is something that is a non-negotiable. Again, this is a moment where when we have this administration and we have many people, for instance, who are being named in the Epstein files,
Yep.
this is something where we need to protect not only victims of that entire sex trafficking scheme, but we also need to make sure that whistleblowers in every way are protected as well. Again, I can't stress it enough that the things that whistleblowers uncover help us to hold so many people who are in leadership positions and have decision making powers to account.
Yeah.
Their safety cannot be at risk as a result of that.
Yep.
So passing legislation that strengthens those whistleblower protections is absolute necessary.
Yep. Yeah. All right. I better let you go, or your campaign manager is gonna get on me too. I don't want that. Thank you
No
so much.
worries.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for being on here. I really do appreciate it. And everyone is literally saying she's going to win. Thank you so much for coming. You're a breath of
Oh,
fresh air. Best of
thanks,
luck.
y'all.
We need more
Thank you
strong,
so much.
educated women like you.
Thank you. I love it. Thank you so much for the support. I will say that I have felt a lot of love wrapped around me by folks who are supporting this campaign, supporting me as a candidate. So I can't do this without you. So thank you so much. I really appreciate the time you took to listen and to submit questions. And hopefully I'll be back.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll have you back anyways. We'll just have it in a different way. But
Love
we're
it.
going to assume you're going to win. So, all right.
Sounds great.
Have a
Thanks,
great day,
everybody.
Annabelle. Bye.
Take care, y'all. Bye.
Ugh. You did great, Kia. Thank you. I appreciate you doing that. Literally, you did amazing. We had it. It was a little short. She was going to come on for a little longer, but I think something came up, so she had to be a little bit shorter on her interview. You got into a rhythm? Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Of course, Clara. It was a great interview. She's a really cool person. We're, like I said, I'm meeting some absolutely amazing people. Only thing is I miss a lot of what she says. Well, it's a good thing that the video will still be available. Yeah. Glad I got to ask some serious questions, but also be the comic relief. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It's always important to have some comic relief in this too. Need to check into Michigan primaries. I posted someone who's running in the 1st district I was supposed to interview another person, but we were having some technical difficulties. I haven't heard from a lot of people running in Michigan. I reached out to one of the people that was running for Senate. Never heard back from them either, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we need to get you some more help, Kia. Self-care is super important. I won't see a doctor or provider if they don't prioritize it. And I appreciate it very much. More than you know. Oh, just we've lost a lot of mods have just stepped away for multiple different reasons. Busy, or they're not here anymore because they just kind of left the community. We used to have quite a few mods. Now we're down to, I think, you and Kia and Courtney. That's pretty much the only mods that we've got on TikTok. Oh yeah, Vonda. She's sometimes here. Yep. But that was the only real consistent people. I don't know what happened to Bree. Bree used to be here all the time. She kind of disappeared. So yeah, we'll need to get some help for you guys. No, I understand, Shug. You're good. I feel you, brother. I feel you, brother. Ellie and Spoonie left the app. Yeah. I rather enjoy being a mod on the tube. There's next to nothing to do. For now. Yeah. Yep. Oh, you're good, Alejandra. I understand. Had to call Congress. There you go. Sure, Claire. I want to say something, but then I don't know. You are always willing to say when you need help, if that's what you're talking about. I don't want to burn you guys out. Hey, Claire.
Hey guys, that was for what I saw, that was an amazing interview. I was on the phone with my daughter, but yeah, you were talking about your interview with her that you did on the tube. So I wanted to come by, and you know me, I like to do my commercial for the tube. So for those of you that don't know, we are live on the tube as well. We start about a half an hour earlier than this app. And I just want to tell you that we have like the best conversations over there. We interact with what is going on over here, but we end up having much more in-depth conversations about what's being said. And you can talk like an adult over there. And then the other thing is to make sure that you're over there because of all of the long form podcasts that he's doing are just amazing. They need to get out and be shared and looked at and such. Not only political ones, but I can't wait to listen to the one about the minister that you just interviewed, because I've seen the clips of it. So I think she's probably going to be really amazing. And then there's short form content as well. So we don't know what's going to come over here, happen over here, but we have just a really great community, and we're always welcoming to people who want to come in and interact over there. So that's kind of what I wanted to say. You know me, I love it over on the tube. Um, I can follow along better, and I'm not so overwhelmed with all um, the chat that's over here. So,
Yeah.
anyways, but I just wanted to really bring that up. But yeah, that was a great interview for what I saw. I didn't get in until the last one, but I was going to just bring up two really quickly, because I was kind of not really blowing up YouTube about it, but you know, we had that committee meeting with the whistleblower from ICE yesterday. In Congress, and I saw bits and pieces, but I read a lot about it, and the amount of how they're doing things, and the lack of training, and the way things are dealt with within the ICE and DHS, it was very eye-opening for me. And you know, I feel like, especially in this administration, especially with a lot of the Doge cuts and and how it's really affecting these agencies, I think protecting it, but also encouraging the whistleblowers to come forward, because if they're not going to be protected, they're not going to come out and tell us what's really going on within these agencies that is detrimental to our society and how things are going. So that's kind of been on my mind and heart the last 24 hours, that I think a lot of people aren't necessarily talking about.
Yeah. Well, you're right.
The only part I heard of it, because I want to say somebody was playing it yesterday. Might have been RTP, I don't know. They were playing, I only caught part of it. But something about how they're supposed to have like 500 something hours of training, and they've cut 280 hours out of it. The part that they're supposed to learn about the Constitution and the laws and all of that stuff has been cut out. Because, you know, why wouldn't that be important?
Why would they care about the law? Yep. It's all wild.
But I want to definitely read up more about it or listen more about it, and hear what they're talking about, because I think for me that says a lot. I'm a lot more, and this is just my opinion, this is just how I feel, but somebody who can, you know, actively see, like go into it, then actively see what's going on and be willing to quit and come forward. It's like I struggle, because it's like I give them credit for being brave enough to do that, because if more people did that, we wouldn't have all these people still being willing to snatch folks like they're doing. Like, why is the fact that there's like infants in fucking federal detention behind some immigration shit not burning people's asses? These so-called fucking pro-life people, are you serious? What about the young man whose father took care of him because he had serious medical issues, and he ended up passing away because they detained his fucking dad, who was doing what? Taking care of his son.
Yep.
Like, this is so, like, every day, It just is more and more fucking disgusting. It is so gross.
Yep.
How about the young man? I can't remember. I think he was in Minnesota. That got detained. 14 years old. That got detained. In the last, I want to say in the last few days, but he was outside his house, and he said he could go in and show documentation of being an American citizen, and they wouldn't allow him to go in and do that. So they took him into the van and said that they would handle it when they got to headquarters. Outside his house, 14 years old. His parents should have been right there.
Yep.
As a minor. And, that wasn't allowed. I mean, it's just scary that they're going after kids. I mean, not only the adults. I mean, I feel for the adults, don't get me wrong, but these are children, and the trauma that is going to affect these children going forward,
Yeah.
and the help they're going to need.
Yep.
And I will say, in the part that I was struggling with, like my thoughts went squirrely and kind of got away from me, is the fact that, especially if you signed up knowing what they were doing already and then you did it and then you dropped out, I don't give you as much credit, because I don't care. Just like I told you, I remember, and I don't know if you do, when we were having a conversation, it might have been in a text chat, and the point was brought up about the fact of how much money people were getting, though, and somebody could see why they would do it, and I was like, I still don't fucking care. I still don't care. Like, there's not enough money you could pay me in the world to be okay with just rounding up human beings and putting them in detention centers. That shit is unhumane, and it is just gross.
I will say that whistleblower, I think he joined in 2021. I think that's when he joined.
What I wanted to say, like, and this may make people a little bit upset. Sorry, not sorry. But one of the things that I'm kind of disappointed in our community with is that when we're here on normal days just talking about stuff, we have way more people engaging, we have more people present, we have people commenting and talking about doing all the things. And then when you're actively having people here that are running and trying to make changes and doing stuff, that it's like everybody just gets like scarce quiet, there's a lack of engagement, and I'm struggling with that. I understand, like, at the time you're on, especially, just like with me, I know I don't have big numbers, I know I'm on in the middle of the day for people, but it's just a little frustrating for me, and I can't even imagine how you feel because you're the host, but it's a little frustrating for me. I understand, like, people are working and stuff, but it's just like to see them, like, people commenting every other day, and then on the big days when you really need us and people not showing up the way that I've seen them show up at other times is disheartening a little bit. Um, and that may just be my opinion, but I just had to let it be said. Like, guys, like, you don't under I don't know if it's like not understood the importance of engagement. Even if you don't want to ask questions, like, keeping engaging in the comments while we're doing these kind of things is what helps push. This is what helps get Mike out there. This is what helps get the interviews, put on the front page on the tube or on the For You page here. Like, it takes us, like, we have to do, even if it's just playing in the background, like, throw a comment or an emoji or something, like, engage. Like, the engagement part is so important. Like,
Yeah.
it's so important. Like, I really want us. There's so many of us that say we want to help, and we feel like, because we can't leave our homes, we can't actively go out and do things. This is how we can support, even if it's just leaving it on quiet in the background, but engaging in a comment every once in a while. Just don't go silent if you can. um Please, like, we can do better. Like, we can do so much better.
And I know I keep saying it, but when I will admit that one of the hardest things for me is, one of the things that worries me is I'm going to be doing these, all of these recorded interviews, setting up all these lives, doing all these other things. And when I see the numbers going the opposite direction, I wonder how much we want to fix things. Not that I'm gonna sit, I don't know, I obviously never know who watches anything. There are obviously some people that are very consistent in watching and commenting and doing the stuff. But when I see like there's 11 people right now on the tube. There were 13 at the end of the interview. It wasn't that much different when Elizabeth was on here. And I'm serious when I say I want to do this as a career. But this is not exciting stuff. At least not exciting in the same way that some other people on these apps do things. It's not exciting. I understand that. But when I say that this is necessary, this is necessary. The stuff that we're doing, the conversations we're having with these candidates, helping push the interviews with these candidates, there is nothing more important if you really want change. Nothing. I know it might sound a little far-fetched to some people, but there is nothing more important, because these people are not taking PAC money. These people are sitting here saying, I want you to hold me accountable for when I say I do things and I'm not doing them. 90% of them are like, I've got people that are running that are saying, I'm planning on holding a town hall every month in a different area of my district, so I can hear what people are struggling with or talk about whatever decisions I make at that time. These people are trying to do it right. And again, I know I can't force any of you to stay. I know I can't force the people that you know and share it with to keep wanting to watch. I understand that. I really do. I'm saying it straight up that, do we really want this? I want this, which is why I'm doing, 17 recordings a week and editing and doing these live interviews and social media posts and everything else that I'm doing. It's why people like Kia and Rosa and Ash are helping as much as they are. I know I'm doing it right. It's why I keep doing it. But in the grand scheme of things, if the people broad in America can't be okay with it and be willing to do the not as exciting work, because again, I understand that gotcha moments and these debate bros are more exciting. It makes you feel better to get these kind of gotcha-y type moments. I understand that. Some days it makes me feel better to do it too. But it's not going to fix the problems that we have. Those are not going to get fixed. It tells you I can't repost the live. Yeah, well, this TikTok, there's a reason that I'm trying to push people to different apps. Because when I tell you that my numbers have plummeted for the amount of views I'm getting on videos, when you consider I've got over 100,000 followers, is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting. I don't know. I just know that we've got, what, 8 more months? 7 more months? Eight more months. We got 8 months.
And one of the things that I think on, just going off of that, is yes, we have had so much positive movement within special elections and smaller state elections within the country. But as people that really want change, and I call them progressives, um, in my vocabulary, we can't let up. We cannot let up and think we're going to coast through this. You know, it's not a sure thing if we want change. And you know, I will tell people, and a lot of people know my situation, but the only thing I really feel like I can do is email the people in my local, state, and federal representatives, because that's as far as I can go. But I feel like it's making a difference in that, in what I can do to push things forward for me.
Like I said,
Is she gonna speak before we get off? Because I see you looking at the clock. I know he's ready to go. I'm sure you. How many interviews you got today?
only one, but that's because I got a dentist appointment,
Oh,
unfortunately. Did you want to say anything, Shug?
Yeah, I think, yeah, just briefly, I think what's gonna have to end up happening, Mike, is uh we're gonna have to start. You have the work, man. Like I think the volume of work is not the issue. I think now it's gonna have to start shifting to the community itself. So maybe like there's Google, some sort of Google form as to, and let's really lay out what the people in the community are working with. Hey, what times do you view? If you can watch, when do you watch? If you don't watch, why don't you watch? I think we're gonna really have to start farming within ourselves and figuring out our individual situations. So that is what's going to help. I think that's what's going to, once we help understand the community more, then we'll know where to start focusing and getting the engagement, because um some people, I just know that we're going to have different people, different personality types and all of that stuff. There are some people who are going to vibe much better saying stuff when it's just you versus when somebody is up here. um so I feel you, because yeah, because the simple math is the engagement the numbers have to go up, so the things that we want to get accomplished can get done, and we're gonna have to do that through understanding the community. And that's not a slight against anyone. I'm not saying that you don't try to connect. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I just think that that's going to be our path forward. In order to help you grow, we're going to have to know who we're working with, what we're working with, and then I think that's the best way to proceed, because the issue clearly isn't the work. You've got the contents there, the work's there, the real, and I mean not just the work and sort of the content, but the real work is being done. Like you said, these aren't the pretty parts,
Yeah.
but these non pretty parts is where the actual change happens. So since we know that's not the issue, or the challenge, then I think it's just we're gonna have to get to know each other better, and let's figure out, okay, All right, what's going to help you all? Because sometimes that's, sometimes those simple questions do help. And they say, you'll never know. Like, hey, it's the timing, or like you said, it's work. But if we don't have some sort of measured, if we don't have any metric to gauge that by, then we'll never know. Then we'll always be asking, is it this or is it that, let's figure out what it is. And then I think we could change it that way.
Yeah.
I totally agree, Shug. I mean, totally everything you said, I think was really spot on. And I think that's kind of that's why I come up occasionally, which is somewhat uncomfortable for me, and put in the comments a lot to come over to the tube, because I think um it not only is a better format in a lot of ways, but it also um, directs people towards the amazing content that Mike's putting out
Right.
too. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, any help that people can give me on this stuff would be great. I am pretty much constantly running on full speed, so I'm willing to do whatever is necessary, but any help is also appreciated. So,
Okay, I got you back, man. We will definitely talk, and I know there's going to be some people that are much better at it than me legislatively, but I have the what's. I just need some help with the executions. But I got you.
appreciate you, brother. Just so you know, starting next week, there won't be Tuesday morning lives because I will be recording a series starting in the morning, a new series every other week on Tuesday mornings, but not have to check my schedule. I don't think that week. I think someone ended up scheduling at night, but starting the week after that, Tuesday morning is going to turn into Tuesday night, where Shug and I, for a couple hours every night, are gonna probably game and just laugh and do weird stuff. It's usually me doing weird stuff and Shug just going, "What the hell are you doing?" That's usually what it ends up being. Tariff-free games. Yep, tariff-free gaming. So yeah, we're gonna do weird stuff, or I'm gonna do weird stuff, which is usually the case. So just so you know that will change a little bit as well, and that'll probably end up doing TikTok, Tube, and Twitch. We'll do 3-way streaming on those days. But just so you know that's coming. Yes, I will be asking him what he's doing 100%. I mean, he always asks me what I'm doing, especially when we're playing TFT. So yeah, just so you know, that's going to change. Tonight, there is a good possibility that I will go live, at least for part of it. I don't want to watch the State of the Union, but I feel like
Just know I can't.
No,
I
that's
can't.
fine. I understand. Yep.
I just want to let you know straight out. I just can't.
And I know
I can't even turn the voice. I can't even, like, just watching him talk makes me want to break my TV off the wall.
I don't know. What time does the State of the Union start?
I think it's 9 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Excuse me. That's fake news. Kia loves my voice. She loves my voice. She told me. That's why Kia is one of my favorites. One of my favorite black people. One of my favorite black people. She is the best. I'm sorry, Kia. I can't resist.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
But I think I'm right. I think it's 9 p.m. Eastern time.
I'm looking it up right
now. I'm a little frustrated with the Democrats doing
no.
their own. one because I feel like the representatives represent us. They don't represent their own feelings about this. So that's my like 2 cents. So I'm really frustrated that they're doing
I'm
another one because I
yeah.
think they should be there.
See, I don't have an issue with them not being there. I actually am totally like, I would actually have been completely okay if, especially if what they were talking about doing, or at least there was a talk about doing before, where they like all come and then when he starts to speak, they all get up and walk out. Like, I actually would have been okay with that. I don't. I think that is something that is important for them to do. I think having their own on the others, like at the same time, I just think that it like I said before, it feels like TPUSA alternate halftime show kind of bullshit, if I'm being honest. But we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, as someone who keeps track of politics, I feel like I need to watch it because who knows what the hell he's going to say. And you know that what he's going to say is going to get brought up in the next live. So we might as well. So I've got to know what's being said.
Wait a minute. So they're doing two? The DNC's doing one at the same time?
Yeah. I forget what they're calling it, but I think it's Midas Touch or something is technically running it, and other people are coming to do it. Or I don't know. It's dumb. That's all I know. And I was interviewing someone last night and they said who's running, and they said their representative is also doing something else during the State of the Union as well. Like, it's just so, this country has gotten so weird.
Sounds very messy to me.
Yep. I mean, it's all messy. This politics pretty much in this country have gotten very, very messy over the last decade, especially. All right. Yeah, I got to go eat and then gonna go to the dentist.
Good luck.
Yeah. Thanks.
Have fun.
Yep. Guys, thank you for the likes, the shares, the gifts. I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here, for watching. I also really appreciate it. Yeah. You know, a new video came out today. Make sure you watch it. There's a video from yesterday. There's all the videos from last week that a lot of them didn't get very many views. So any help, greatly appreciate it. I know the people running appreciate it too. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. You guys are amazing just the way you are, and I love you all very much. Stay safe, stay healthy. Remember to sing, laugh, dance, smile. Do something that makes you happy. Bye, guys. Goodbye, YouTube.